Welcome back, everyone. Hope you've had a nice quick break. So we're going to move on to our next session, and I'm really pleased to introduce two colleagues of mine from our Transformation Directorate here in Welsh Government, Wong and Philip Bowen. So I will hand over to you both now. Thank you very much.
Boradar, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you at the conference today. Philip and I are covering for Ivan Evans, the Director of Technology, Digital and Transformation. I'm the Deputy Director for Health Science. I would be giving you an overview of the innovation landscape and signposting some of the current opportunities in this space for healthcare scientists and allied health professionals before passing over to Philip, who will be briefing you on digital. In the past 21 months, we have seen firsthand the important role innovation has played in our response to COVID-19. We had already increased health and care innovation activity over the last 5 years and invested in supporting infrastructure, which meant that we were able to better respond to the pandemic. Through the foundations laid by A Healthier Wales, our long-term plan for integrated health and care, we have created an environment in which our partners and workforce actively embrace and deliver transformation and innovation at pace, often under very challenging circumstances, if I may add. Collectively, we have further accelerated NHS innovation and service change, increased partnering with universities and industry, introduced new technologies at scale and pace, step up diagnostics and precision medicine, and really enhance our digital infrastructure and services. Along with excellent contact tracing and vaccine delivery services, these have all been introduced across Wales in record time. This was an outstanding effort from the NHS, local authorities, and key partners. You will be all too aware of the pressures and demands on our systems with unprecedented numbers of people awaiting treatment. Although a great deal of work is underway within health and care organizations to mitigate the impact, we cannot continue with the same service models of the past. These were already struggling with delays to treatment, increasing costs, and a lack of ability to translate research and innovation into tangible outcomes that benefited at scale. So the process of recovery and reset will not be easy. Embedding the innovations and new ways of working introduced during the pandemic will be fundamental to managing our recovery from both the health and economic impacts of the pandemic. So in order to continue deliver the system, really has to adapt. We have to provide support to plan and implement better system design, deliver expertise and skills, create new products and services, excel at innovation that benefits both service providers and users, and of course, for us all to become the system leaders that we need to be to make effective and impactful decisions. Over the summer, our Minister for Health and Social Services published a written statement on innovation and health in health and social care and commit us to develop a new consolidated innovation program for Wales. So I would now give you a brief overview of the program. The Wales context. As the First Minister emphasised in his first post-election interview, innovation is about doing things quickly and differently, not least because that is essential for the recovery of the health service from the pandemic. On the NHS Wales context, thanks to all of your hard work, really, over the last few years, we have already accelerated innovation and change. I mentioned earlier, we have increased partnering already, and we are delivering new technologies at scale. And the way we do it quite uniquely in Wales, we do that with our local supply chain as well. And we're at the stage now where we need to lock in these transformations before things snap back to normal. On the UK context, the UK government is prioritising innovation and technology too. These areas are critical to both UK and Wales recovery from the pandemic and to take us to a path of long-term health, economic growth and productivity. NHS Wales and our pandemic response is what really makes us stand out in the UK context. And we need to come to a well-defined policy position now to protect the Welsh interests in the next phase of this development. A healthier Wales highlights the importance to link national direction and local innovation for NHS Wales working together with the Welsh Government for the people of Wales. The innovation programme is about consolidating and amplifying things which work to drive practical changes to services and embed new ways of working. We're building our policy and priority framework around 5 enabling themes that will set out our strategic narrative. If I could just highlight them, we need a clear national policy framework within which NHS Wales and partners have freedom to operate. This gives them permission and confidence and ensures good governance. We need a nationally funded support structure, which provides a common platform, making it easier and quicker to innovate, and also really links national direction to local flexibility and encourages sharing of good practice. We need targeted investment to accelerate innovation and adoption. That helps to set pace and priorities, de-risk early innovation, and incentivizes early adoption. Of course, we also need to promote and reward innovation. It's all about us recognizing teams and individuals, promote excellence and encouraging learning, build talent, enhance Wales' reputation and attract partners. And also, of course, to develop skill and leadership, because it's all about organizations. It's not about organizations or money. It's all about people. So to sum up, the new innovation program will be pivotal in maintaining momentum as we transition from the pandemic response to recovery, and will be a key cornerstone of delivering a wider integrated innovation strategy for Wales. Before I hand over to Philip, I thought I ought to signpost you to some of the current opportunities. And hopefully these are of particular interest to the audience. I know many of you are healthcare scientists and allied health professionals, given the conference. So the first is a plug on the innovation fellowships. It's for qualified healthcare scientists with 1 year post-qualification experience. The National School of Healthcare Science is offering a fellowship for people to expose themselves to the latest digital technologies for diagnosis and monitoring, and provide people with that knowledge and skills to lead innovation projects themselves in future. I talk about influencing locally and influencing nationally earlier, and a lot of times people come to me and say, well, hold on, but what can we do practically to support that? And we could think of two things, immediate things now. The first, around influencing locally. All health boards have to develop a 3-year plan by the end of February to access the funding that we recently announced, amounting to £170 million per year. That's quite a significant sum, but in return, one of the priorities we have asked health boards to address is to strengthen diagnostics and imaging services. So really, I would encourage those in the audience today to link up with your local planners and really challenge, really make sure your ideas about how to strengthen services, because you're the experts after all, are incorporated in these plans. So that's one practical thing people could do. The other, around the national side, it could be quite daunting. Many people have told me to try to influence nationally, but actually there is a well-formed healthcare science network, which I just like to highlight to people today. And if people would like to link up with the program and with the network, there's always the chance to to join in to deliver NHS Wales looking forward. It's really a chance for all the 50 plus professions to speak with one voice. So I would really encourage that. And on research, every region has a hub to coordinate innovation and improvement. The Life Science Hub itself is an essential resource, a good point of entry, really, just sort of bouncing ideas off. So yeah, join networks like that and special interest group which the hub run, and engage with the national programs as well. Diolch info. I will now hand over to Philip.
Bore da. Diolch yn fawr i chi gyd am y gwahoddiad I siarad chi heddi. Good morning. Thank you very much for the invitation to come and speak with conference today. My name is Philip Bowen. I work for Evan Evans in the Welsh Government, where I'm the Digital Deputy Director for Policy and Delivery, where my work to date is primarily concerned with the digital delivery and transformation, which is the focus of today's presentation, but also, as you'd expect, the digital solutions that help the Welsh Government manage the pandemic in Wales, and of course the associated relationships with our English and other devolved government partnerships in the UK. May I have the next slide, please? So I'll be delivering the remainder of the presentation, in which we look at our response to the pandemic to date and the lessons learned, and then an eye to the future with regard to priorities per our existing digital strategy, our ongoing plans for refreshing that, plus future aspirations and ambitions, which, let's be blunt, are quite far-ranging. In terms of the response to the pandemic, we've delivered some tangible and timely improvements to safeguard ongoing delivery. For example, we've worked on delivering safer and more effective methods to work remotely, in changes to infrastructure, enabling people where they can to operate remotely. In that vein as well, the video consultation service, which enabled, where appropriate, clinicians to meet with people, either in the comparatively safety of their own homes, therefore minimising the need to travel and expose themselves to possible transmissions of COVID by others in the public arena. We've also delivered the requisite investment in mobile and remote working, and with particular thanks to DHEW, a very impressive establishment of Microsoft Teams and Office 365 within 60 days. I mentioned earlier that part of my role is with regard to COVID digital solutions, and here we have worked at pace with partners in NHS and local authorities in a digital contract tracing platform delivered in 40 days, a vaccine platform developed in-house to enhance the existing database, the relevant and many testing services that can be done either in Welsh labs, in places of work, or in the comfort of people's homes, and, as you're probably aware from personal and professional viewpoints, the well-publicised NHS COVID Pass. Can I have the next slide, please? And here, with lessons learned, we need to ensure that we continue to work at pace, agile wherever possible, that the right foundations that have been established remain in place. We don't really want to throw out the child with the bathwater again as we move into restart recovery. And so the great work we've done to date, infrastructure, cybersecurity, data, and sharing mechanisms with the data flows for citizens, not just that live and work in Wales, but those that take advantage of the porous borders in the UK. We need to ensure that what we've done at pace has not only been fit for purpose, but is also sustainable for longer term use. Related to that is getting information governance right, and the associated data privacy considerations, particularly to satisfy concerns about the public and patients regarding how and why their data is used, and of course, considerations and comments and queries raised by data guardians, such as the ICO. We should look then at also refreshing, recycling, revitalising in the planning, delivery and closure of existing programmes, ensuring that the lessons learned are core in the delivery of future initiatives. Typically, the wealth of that knowledge and experience is often within grasp, corporate and personal, and therefore is more about a case of harnessing at the right time that information, rather than waiting a couple of months when the programme's closed and people may have moved on. And then the issues that poses then in not being able to utilise the wealth of that information. It'd be no surprise to you, I'm sure, that cloud should be at the future of the development, utilisation, management and sustainable use of our digital solutions. And then within that as well, this isn't just about producing something shiny, it isn't about something that looks good, it's about ensuring then that our users are at the heart of this from the very, very start. When we talk about policy, what will the policy mean for the person that this benefits in terms of the interaction with clinicians, in terms of interacting with digital solutions, in terms of interacting with solutions that benefit those that are digitally excluded. And so we need to be quite clear that in moving forward with that user-centered aspect, that we also ensure that the users that will use these services at the forefront with the patients are also at the heart of such user-centered training. So we're talking about personable, highly valuable, targeted training that could be utilised in the best place at the best time by the user. So we're not talking about filling classrooms with large numbers of people. We're about creating, wherever possible, bite-sized information chunks that enable people to use the service carefully and professionally, and therefore deliver the care that's required. And then finally, let's not rest on our laurels. We can always improve in terms of delivering value for money with the use of the public purse, in greater user experience, ensuring from the very, very start of the journey, which is policy, that the benefits to the user and the user experience are considered, as well as collaborative working, being innovative, and so much more. We have the next slide, please. We have a digital health and care strategy, which, well, in digital lifespan is a bit old at the moment, but some of the elements, some of the cross-cutting pillars, some of the drive and the ambitions with it are still extant today in 2021. People are at the heart of our success. We focus on knowing who works in digital services, as well as trying to understand what is required to retain and develop them, as well as attract new people into the digital profession. And so we've got plans here to develop that expertise, as well as to develop Wales as the place to go to for an exciting and challenging career in digital. We also need to look then, being agile, at a better and more targeted approach to how we receive in the Welsh Government bids for funding innovative digital transformation, and then of course the subsequent delivery of digital transformation. There may well still be the odd requirement that, given the size, complexity, and perhaps the innovativeness of transformation projects, that we might need to rely on formal business cases, but we are trying wherever possible to move away from that. And so agile isn't just about the development of the service, it's also about how we encourage our partners to come up with innovative projects that might well be geographically positioned at the start, but have to demonstrate the benefit for a sustainable service that will benefit the whole of Wales in due course. We've been very ambitious in that regard with regards to our e-prescribing and digital ward systems. It is not unfair to say that it's grabbed the attention, not just of the public, but also of ministers, of industry representatives and stakeholders as well. And we're being encouraged, particularly with DHEW and our other delivery partners, in delivering e-prescribing much sooner than we've previously planned at the moment. We think it's probably, given the size and scale and complexity, at least a 3-year delivery plan. But having talked it through with the delivery partners, Health Boards, Trust and HEW, we're trying to deliver something on an iterative basis. So again, we move away from the traditional big bang delivery where everything has to happen at the same time. So as soon as Health Boards, Trusts and the healthcare settings within those are ready to use this, we'll be launching it. We have plans to build with DHEW the NHS Wales app within DHEW's digital. Now forgive me, Helen, I always get this wrong. It's digital services for public and patients. So the NHS Wales app will be building on the success to date of My Health Online, which will be able to put information regarding an individual's appointments, primary and secondary care meetings, medication, etc., within easy and ready grasp of those that have the digital means. We're working hard on delivering this with our partners in Wales and in England, and we expect at the moment the first iteration of the NHS Wales app to be made available in early 2022. And then again, underpinning all this, cross-cutting through all this, a common thread is a greater and innovative use of data for patient care, and of course in supporting advances in AI. Are we okay to move on? Here we're talking about ambitious and quite far-ranging targets, aspirations in terms of ensuring that our workforce is not only fit for purpose today, but is resilient, excited and challenged for any future challenges that may come our way due to unexpected advances in policy, unexpected responses required to future pandemics and epidemics, as well as greater interaction and greater feedback from our users in terms of what they want to be delivered for their benefit from the healthcare sector. So we are ambitious in terms of our plans for an enhanced workforce, not just delivering better for the health and care sector, but also hopefully a better and more enriched experience for those people doing the job on a daily basis. We're looking at increasing our capabilities. With DHEW and others, we're looking at increasing the tools and the innovative ways that people can use those tools to do the jobs better. I talked earlier then about the future aspirations we have. I'm quite clear, I want Wales, and with the health and care sector, and with the digital transformation, to be the first career choice of destination for people that are looking for exciting and challenging experiences in their work and in their career, that have tangible benefits that can be seen by their friends, family, people in the street, etc. There can be nothing more rewarding sometimes than seeing the stuff that you're doing at a laptop or in meetings, etc., having a tangible benefit, either as demonstrated by people you encounter or by the press coverage on the success of our initiatives. It's quite exciting to work in Wales. It's quite exciting to work in digital transformation. Our aim then is to clearly show how that can translate into a better job and career experiences for the individuals. But of course, none of that can work in isolation. We need people like you, the leaders. I mentioned earlier that people are at the heart of the development of this. Well, you as leaders play a key role in the business change, the organizational developments, the retention, the conversations with your people about career aspirations, and in the daily chats by the water cooler, by the coffee point, or as we do at the moment, in bird tables, usually at 10 o'clock on Zoom or MS Teams, we're checking in on people. You have a great part to play in ensuring that the work that we've laid out here in what we're doing now, building on the lessons in the past, plus looking at the future, are understood and are accepted and are welcomed by the people that you work with. We can't do this in isolation. And so the purpose of what Leon and I have said today, hopefully, has articulated and brought some more colour, if not flavour, to our plans for digital transformation in the healthcare sector. And then to conclude then, the final 2 slides of my presentation are just additional colour regarding specific projects. And so therefore, diolch yn fawr i chi gyd. Thank you from Leon and myself. And I hand you back to conference. And I believe that we also have the joy of participating in the panel session, which is the next item. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr, both. Thank you very, very much. We really appreciate it.